Let's get some music behind this. Okay, so we are back. I am insufficient in completing my 100 yarn bowls in 30 days challenge. I will have more on that in future future streams. Currently, all I have to do is do one more bisque firing and then paint and put them through the glaze kiln. The problem is Pennsylvania is wet right now. And we went on vacation for a week, impromptu, quick vacation for a week, and unfortunately, during that week, nothing dried. In fact, I think it might have gotten wetter while we were away. So, when we came back, we had to throw on dehumidifiers. We had to candle the kiln a million times. Even though we candled the kiln, we still lost a few pieces due to them being too wet. Pennsylvania is just soaking wet right now. So, we are taking an extra week into July to kind of finish up my yarn bowl challenge. I took a week off. I added a week. I don't really know if that counts or not, but yeah. So right now, I wanted to get some cookies made to go underneath the yarn bowls, just in case some of the new glazes that I'm not used to run more than I expect them to. So this is a cookie. This is literally just going to go underneath the piece so that if the glaze drips down, it doesn't get on the kiln shelf. I do kiln wash my shelves, but this is just a little extra layer of protection. So I threw these last night. I left them on the bats so that they could dry out. My goal is to make roughly 30 of them. I have 6 large bats, so I have to do this 5 times. My goal is to do 3 times today, which will give me 18, plus the 6, which is 24. And then I only have to do it one more time. I'll probably do it 2 more times, just in case I get cracking and whatnot. But for these, I don't care if they're centered. I don't care if there are air bubbles. I don't care. I don't care about uniform consistency. I just want to get them thrown really quick. So that's what we're doing. If this was something that I was going to like practice making plates with or something like that, then I would say this is a good thing to practice with. But I left my scraper over there now. I keep looking at the camera like it's there. I actually have my camera set up over there. It's currently pointing at a white tree because as soon as I'm done over here, I'm going to head on over there and paint an extra large tree because we have a lot of orders coming in now for our tree business. So I also need to work on that as well. I am hoping that I can get some of those marbled bowls that I painted or that I threw. I'd like to get some of those done with the clear glaze this evening. That'll be later this evening though. That'll probably be the last thing I do today. Unless these plates are super duper wet from the second throwing, then I'll do that and then come back to taking these off. These are actually drier than I expected them to be from last night. Did these pretty late. Oh, I guess I didn't. I had game last night. I guess I did do these pretty early. Oh, guys, it's way too it's way too early in the day for me to be losing my tools. I'm also fighting a weird reclaim battle. Things are far too wet. I leave them out for days because they are far too wet, and then I leave them out for one extra day, and then they are too dry. So I'm fighting a weird reclaim battle. But that's okay. Everything will get done when I can get it all done, right? One thing at a time. Ooh, this was too thin and too hard. That's okay. Apparently, I need practice making really shitty cookies. It's okay. Plenty of time. Plenty of time mostly because I really want to get these trees in the kiln really quick. We have a couple of orders that I would like to get out this week. So the plan is to do a green kiln tonight for the trees and a green kiln tomorrow night for the trees. And then this also might be too thin. I haven't thrown cookies in a while now. That's okay. That's okay. I can make, oh, yep. Okay, no problem. Just start over today. So the plan is to do a green kiln tonight, a green kiln tomorrow night, and then my first yarn bowl kiln. And then to do a bisque fire with the rest of the yarn bowls and all the trees that Gary and my father have been pouring and cleaning. And then to do another yarn bowl, and then the rest of the trees for the current orders. Current goal. But pretty much we're going to be running the kiln every night for at least a week. We need to make sure it gets on and running. Yeah, I made these way too thin. Okay. Fine, fine. So yeah, so I'll be doing these for three times a day for the next 2 to 3 days probably. Make sure I get enough. These are pretty big for cookies. And I'm doing that because I'm not just making these for the yarn bowls. I want to make these for a couple different things. And I want to make sure that wherever these things are going to drip from, they cover my kiln. All right. This looks a little bit thicker, so we'll see how this one does, although it is really hard. You can see the wire underneath the thing here. Yep. Okay. That one was just too hard. That actually was a pretty good thickness. That's okay. It's okay. If you can't get used to yourself screwing up and making mistakes in pottery, and pottery might not be for you. Over the past couple of days, I've just been really, really tired. And I know it's because I haven't been, one of the many reasons is because I haven't been drinking any water. So at some point today, you will see me break out a literal gallon of water and probably start chugging from it. Although, no, you can't see me on camera today because I moved my camera. Ha ha ha. You'll just hear me drinking water. So because I'm making large cookies, they don't fit on my square bats. You can see the overhang. So I have to use these large bats. These large bats I love. These large bats came with my wheel. They are from Shimpo, where I got my wheel from. I do have another set of pottery bats that I don't like because they are very wibbly on the wheel and they move a lot. So I really don't like those. Yeah, this is too much clay. Well, all right, I can always cut some off at the end, right? Right. So I did join Discord. I don't know if anybody has actually joined me in Discord yet, but at some point you may hear one of my friends jump on. Okay. And this isn't quite slip yet. It's fine. I don't know why I'm sniffly all of a sudden. I probably do. Probably because there's a ton of reclaim down here, and reclaim gets a little moldy, and my dehumidifier isn't on because I don't want things drying out too quickly. I always love that my phone goes off exactly when I get my hands into clay. I very much have to hope that my husband is checking messages and or my parents use the Alexas that we have set up throughout the house to
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
that I just set off to call for help if they need it. Um, so what I'm doing right now is I'm pretty much just making a plate. And I can feel the air bubbles in my clay. Um, so, yeah, I was in game last night. We were playing Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and we had a TPK. So, we're level 12 now. And, with that TPK, he decided to kind of revamp Dungeon of the Mad Mage a little bit. And, make Skullport into a real town. And so we are starting in Skullport now. And I have been making him signs for all of the different buildings in town. And he has been, making job boards and I think that's good. Okay. Now, ask me if I have wiped any of my towel or if I've washed any of the towels that I love so much. No. Nope, I haven't done that. That is one of many goals that I would love to get accomplished. But it's not one that I actually have. So. Okay. So when my husband goes down to deliver, I didn't really want to buy more clay because I do have so much reclaim that I have to wedge and get ready. But I'm thinking that I'm going to have him pick up a couple of boxes for me. He's going to be there anyway picking up paint for the pigs that we're making. So I figure while he's there, there's no reason. Because it's not like it goes bad. I just keep seeing my messages in Discord. I have to, after this one, I have to go read them. Um, but yeah, so I've been working on signs in both Photopea and Midjourney.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome aboard.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I have to make sure your volume is coming through okay. Gary has joined us. He is currently
Sure.
pouring. What are you pouring today?
Large trees. And I think when I dump them, I'm going to do large bases.
Cool.
And actually, that might be it for today as far as pouring. I have to do recyclables and load the kiln. And 3 o'clock, I have AJ to help build a level 4 DC 20 character for tomorrow night. I offered that to Aaron as well, but I think he can probably manage to build it himself. And Adam, but I guess we'll see. Has the time and that time. And then I have AD&D to run tonight.
Cool. I was just talking about your skull port.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you did a great job helping me with that. And my hope and goal with it is that I can slow down the game enough that people can actually experience like the world and not just it's like get there, kill things and whatever. But I'm betting that I can do that, and the help that you have provided should definitely help realize that. But yeah, the like what I am reverbing off of something.
I don't hear it.
What your character can do in combat should be less important than the world and what you do in it. That's my goal.
I am playing a turtle farmer that uses his magics for killing varmints on his farm. He currently got erroneously teleported into Skullport. And is trying to find a way to his location that he is supposed to have been teleported to. When we picked up in the first session, I was looking for a library or a town hall or something in Skullport to figure out why this place exists and what its history is.
Well, my goal is to provide something that I don't think that Dungeon of the Mad Mage does on its own, which is a focus, a reason, something to make it not just an endless, mindless slog through enemies. And I think that by giving you guys an interesting launch point and quest-driven missions, hopefully I'm able to realize that vision. And there's a lot of mystery and mystique around the town, and like you said, with looking for a library to research, you'll absolutely be able to do that. And yeah, there's just a lot of really cool bits that you guys may find out, may not find out. Depends what you do. And I love that open-ended nature as a game master too, because I get to be surprised, because I'm not on a schedule to drive you guys through a dungeon. Instead, it's let's see what you do.
So this one is a little bit smaller than the others. So this one will be for one of the smaller yarn bowls. And you have to remember that all of these shrink by 10% as I'm doing them. So while some of these look big, they will shrink significantly through the kilns. And not all of these will go through a bisque kiln. I'll try to get them all through a bisque kiln, but if some of them don't make it, I'm not concerned about it. If they crack underneath a piece, I'm not concerned about it. They will either become a smaller cookie or they will just go away.
Fly must like the taste of the fly.
I'm sorry?
Fly must like the taste of the clay.
Ash likes the taste of clay.
Yeah, I think the flies do too.
Yeah.
So, what's the status on the last green fir medium? It's already painted in downstairs in green, waiting for lights, or is it
No,
painted and waiting to get fired tonight?
it's waiting for you to put it in the kiln.
Okay, got it. So if it gets fired tonight, then tomorrow you get lights, and then when those two are boxed, Wooden Indian is done, and then it's a quick race to finish off Grand Place, so that I can get both of those delivered next week. Cool.
All you need for Grand Place is the 3 extra large trees, right?
There's the 2X that's up here, 3 extra large. There's 3 large, but I think... Oh, there's 1 extra large up here, too. Already with lights in it. So, 2 extra large, 1 2X that we need. That's already painted. There's a large up here with lights in it. Grand Place also had 4 smalls, 4 minis, but that's not too difficult. And then the other larges, I'm not sure. Are they downstairs with lights in them already? Maybe? I'm not sure. If not, then we need them painted before, yeah. But I felt like we painted 3 and I feel like we already did. And I think I broke them down that one day with the large fir, the large white fir. Yeah, I think.
I can't see
anyway,
from where I'm
I
sitting.
gotta
Mom's
start
chair.
loading it. And then I'm babysitting these. They're drinking a lot of clay, but the molds haven't been poured in a while. I'll tell you, it's not thin though today. It had a thick skim on top. I had to start up. Thankfully, it didn't clog. But they have drained 2 containers of clay.
Wow.
Yeah, very good. There are 3 more bisque trees up here, large, so if you do need them for some reason they're here. And also, I don't know if you want them in the kiln tonight, but there are 3 medium large that we don't need for Grand Place. They are up here, painted.
Yeah, they'll go in the kiln tonight.
Okay. So the 2X is going in the bottom on the one side by itself.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
you can probably put like 2 mediums next to it.
Yeah. No shelf, nothing underneath it, just it on the one side.
Yep.
So, if I may, for a second, I was just watching Dungeon Coach's live stream from last night, and he posed a question because somebody else had posted in the chat during the live stream, and I was curious your thoughts. It is, should monster stat blocks be at the end of the module or in the scene?
At the end.
Yeah.
Mostly because monster stat blocks get used over and over again. And or NPC stat blocks get used over and over again.
Yes.
So I would rather it, but I would like it to reference a page number.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's good.
And not just say Ankeg.
Right.
I would like it to say Ankeg page 47.
Right, so you can easily find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a there's like 2 ways to look at this, I think. One is in a VTT. And in a VTT, there's 2 ways to handle it. One is in the digital module to have a link, like, so that when you click on the name of the creature, it automatically pulls up the stat block.
Right.
That's one way to handle it in a VTT. Another VTT option for handling it is having the tokens already on the map that have character sheets linked to them, and you can open up the character sheets from the tokens, and then it doesn't even matter if there's like a clickable thing in the. I mean, it should still probably be there, but it's less important if the tokens are already on the map.
Right.
Honestly, it's probably one of the best integrations when running on a VTT versus running in person. Is being able to have tokens on maps with character sheets and all of that.
Right.
Now, a paper product and running in person, I have some thoughts. First, I agree with you that putting the entire stat block on the page in the scene, it takes up too much room. It's too much clutter. And it's going to be referenced elsewhere. So from a practicality standpoint, it doesn't really make sense to put them. However, it is clumsy to flip around the book to try to find them. So your solution is great to be able to have the page number and be able to quickly flip to it. And then another thing that you could do in prep would be to, I guess, print off the stat block ahead of time so that you have it separate and not flipping through the book.
May I take this one step further?
Sure.
There are really cool binding options out there that make books that you can, like a 3-ring binder, but better.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if, like, monster manuals came with these binding options, so that, like, okay, today we're going to play with these 5 monsters. I can take these pages out, use them for the day, and then put them back in.
Yeah.
I would pay a premium for a not quite cardstock, but like thicker paper, better binding option. Imagine not having to take an entire monster manual with you to like a pre-prepped game, like to a page or a Mepicon.
Yeah. Can I tell you who did that?
Yeah.
TSR.
Okay.
In the 80s.
There we go.
I guess, and then
like, yeah, this isn't a new thing.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition had a monstrous compendium instead of a monster manual, and it was 3-ring binders with loose leaf monsters.
Okay.
I think the issues with it were that the page quality wasn't good enough, so that they ripped, and they double-sided the sheets instead of putting one monster on a page, so that, like, when you first bought it, it was fine and alphabetized, but if you tried to add any new monsters to it, they would be out of order because
And honestly, what you're
Uh,
saying with that is amazing because imagine having the monster on one side with all of its stats, and
mhm.
then on the back side of that same page, what plane does it come from? What,
Oh, the lore.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
like that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be that would be a step up from what they did. Because what they did is they just put the next monster on the back.
Right.
That's why you lost the alphabetizing eventually.
Yeah. And I mean, they make things
One of
better than 3-ring binders. You know, there's like 10 rings to a page so that it I forgot clay. Um yeah, there's like 10 rings to a page so that it doesn't get as wibbly.
hmm
Um I don't know, there's just so much better things that they can do for people. But I guess the other question is, how often are people playing in person versus either using a VTT and or just using a computer to supplement
digital maps and that.
for the not even digital maps, but like what the hell is that blue?
Running in person with a VTC.
Um for monsters and stuff like that
Yeah.
instead of using um like a physical monster manual. How many people are just using
Well, I definitely
VTTs,
saw people at
PDFs?
the convention choosing like iPads and things for running the modules.
Right. Yep. Yeah, so I don't know.
Um,
I mean, so many people nowadays don't even have printers.
hmm. I still think there's something to be said about having a physical something in front of you. And actually, when I run AD&D, I like having both. I have the PDF up and I have the printed copy in front of me, and I like the PDF. And I know I could do the same thing with my physical copy and highlight, especially since it's just a printed PDF. But I highlight in the actual PDF, and um, then I have the printed copy clean, and anyway, I can have two parts of the module up at one point. Um, yeah. Anyway, I find that helpful having it's essentially like having two copies. But um, so back to like stat blocks. Should they be in the scene or elsewhere? When I run AD&D, the one thing that I do appreciate is that the monster stats are right in the scene. But the difference is that the monster stat isn't a block, it's one line of text or a couple lines of text. So it doesn't take up a lot of room. But when I'm running that scene, I have everything I need to run the monster right there. So another proposal that I would have is a condensed stat line that a game master could use to quickly run the monster without having to flip through the book. So you
Okay.
could flip through the book, you could print it ahead of time, you could, but also in the scene here is all of the relevant information that you need to run it without all of the fancy formatting and all of that. Just give me a letter and a number, and I know what the letter is. So I had posed that to Dungeon Coach's Patreon right before I jumped on this call, and my suggestion would be M plus 3. That's might plus 3. I plus 2. That's or A plus 1. That's agility plus 1. I plus 2. That's intelligence plus 2. C plus 0. Charisma plus 0. Um, CM 1. Combat mastery 1. ATK plus 4. So attack, spell check, The modifier is +4. And then like what the attack is: bite, colon, 1 P, 1 piercing. And then in parentheses, I put +1 AP, colon, physical save versus grapple, and parentheses, so that it's, there's the attack enhancement for the bite. But it's all very easy to read in one line, and you don't need like this huge honking box to run the monster.
Right.
What do you think about something like that? Like if you could boil down the statistics of the monster, and you don't have to use that. You could use the legit stocks, but
Yeah, as long as it still had the page numbers for like where it was in the book to see the full. Yeah, I'd be good with that.
that's genius. Though having the page number, I agree. That's really good.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
it
know.
can be confusing. It can be confusing sometimes, like when you're first looking at a stat line and not like what the hell is that?
Hmm.
But once you use it once or twice, it's pretty quick and intuitive, and it doesn't take up a lot of room.
Right.
I'd almost say that it's as a negative to like the older editions. Those pretty much were the stat blocks. So there wasn't like a nice formatted like this is the creature's like stat block where it looked nice and like a nice layout. It was literally just a line of text. But also, I think I might do a video soon if I can get the time on how innovative I think Dungeon Coach's new layout is. I think that would be a good video. I think a lot of people are probably hyped about it right now, and it is amazing. I think I'm just so blown away with the the different color boxes, the fact that they there is a word for it. I can't think of it, but they integrate within each other. What is that called when you have something in the middle of something else? Um, there is a word for that. Not implant. Um,
I'm not quite sure what you're referencing. I'm sorry.
embed.
Interwove. Okay.
Embed. That like you can have the blue dialog box embedded within the green text box. I think is incredible. The fact that they have uh, the voice quality for the NPCs and how like the text, the dialogue is supposed to be delivered. Um, I'm just completely blown away by how innovative it is. Oh no!
That did not sound good over your microphone.
It started to splash. It like got me in the face a little bit, but also I thought it was gonna like I was gonna be drenched in clay, but no, it just splashed on my hand a little bit, and it started to slosh over when I was carrying it to dump it. Only a little.
Well, this is my third cookie, or my sixth cookie.
That's what you
So,
wanted.
yeah, so I'm done with cookies this morning. I only got 2 out of the ones I did last night. They are too thin. They were too thin last night.
Yep.
So, which is fine. But I got these. So I'm just gonna do these for the next 2 to 3 days and get enough cookies for all the yarn bowls to go through the kiln. Well, not, I'm not gonna make 100 of these. I'm making 30 to roughly 30, just so I can get through. So every one that goes in the kiln can have one.
Forgot how heavy these are.
That's why I roll them.
I actually have to use my knee to flip it over onto the pouring machine.
Okay. Done with the wheel.
I'm gonna have to hop off the call in a minute though, because I'm gonna be coming down for stuff to put in the kiln,
Okay.
and I'm pouring the bases. Once I'm done dumping the large trees.
Cool. So you can see on camera here. I wish I could see where I'm pointing. I have a delay in my stream, obviously. Let's go back to, there we go. Okay. You can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 buckets of reclaim. And then I also have a board that's been sitting out with reclaim on it. That's going to get mushed up today. That will get used for the cookies this afternoon. And I had sort of wanted, maybe I'll do that now instead of painting, because I don't have room to paint yet anyway. So, work on some reclaim real quick. Get that ready for this afternoon. Okay. Board of reclaim.
I also need to edit that video that I shot yesterday.
Cool.
But,
yeah, I have a lot of those to do. Like editing videos, man, is like it takes more time to edit the video than it does to shoot a video. It's kind of crazy.
this one is my, and I agree. This one is my how I built my character for the adventure that I'm hopefully going to get to play.
Cool.
But
Nice.
I guess it depends if he gets a third player or not. He said he was going to keep it up for a week, which doesn't seem like a very long time. And I don't know if he doesn't get another player, he's just going to remove the campaign.
Or he'll run with just you guys. How many people are in there right now?
2, me and one other, which I don't know if that one other is him or I don't know. I don't know. It was a good price, and I don't usually get to play DC 20, despite running it for a year and a half. So, also, I've never played Lost Mines of Phandelver, despite running it 8 times.
So you can
Twice
see
in
on here,
DC20.
that's fair. So you can see on here, those are the air bubbles that I'm currently kneading out of the clay. And I can kind of hear, as I squeeze, I can hear them popping. I typically knead against the board, but my board is full of clay right now. So I'm just going to hand knead these. So I know that these are, they're a little soft for me to throw with, but they're not leaving goop on my hands. So I can throw with them.
Is that how you tell?
Yeah. If it's still like leaving goop on my hands, then I need to set them up in those arches.
Yeah.
And the arches let more air get to more surface area.
Mm-hmm.
So, like right now, this isn't needed yet, but it's leaving goop on my hands. Once I get it kneaded, it should be okay, just like bread. And sometimes the outside of this will be drier than the inside of it. So some of this may be too goopy for me to throw with, which is fine. I can set them up in arches and leave them to the side, and maybe they'll be ready tonight. I haven't been throwing on my dehumidifier down here because I have so much reclaim and I don't want it to get too hard. But I've been trying to make a concerted effort to get through a little bit of reclaim every day so that I can start putting that back on again. So you can see with just a little bit of kneading, my hands, they're dirty, obviously, but they're no longer leaving goop.
Alright, pour these. I wonder if I should pour the extra large again or not. I feel like we have a lot of extra large currently, but they are the hardest to keep.
Did you pour smalls?
I did not. We have a lot of smalls, I think. Plus, I poured them last time.
I need 100 smalls. We're going to be sending off 100 smalls to Amazon come October.
Okay, well, I can't do those with these, so I don't have room on the table to pour them.
Okay.
But I could pour, you know what, I'm going to pour 2 extra large as well. Because I have room on the table for 2 extra large, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to just pour the new molds as much as I can. Save the old ones in case we need them.
Yeah.
So I'm only pouring the 5 new large rather than pouring them all. But I would probably see a repeat of this tomorrow as far as pouring large trees again, pouring large bases again.
Cool. Well, I can get 6 large trees into a kiln.
I'm going to pour these and then I'm going to disconnect from the call because I'm going to be going up and then coming back down to get stuff for the kiln.
Okay.
I'll see what time it is when these finish, and maybe I'll pour the smalls too. Bases are no problem, very easy.
Well, it's 11:40 now. I'm leaving at 12. No, 12:30. Lies. 12:30. So I'll probably be live till about 12:15.
I was hoping I had time in the afternoon to like edit video and whatever while I'm waiting for stuff to come apart.
Cool.
That's what I was hoping in my timing. And
I was actually thinking about going live while editing a video.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Showcase what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're so good at it, I think, anyway.
Well, this is going to be a lot of work of splitting off all of my throwing of yarn bowls into individual yarn bowls.
Yeah. And you know, if you put a tag for like self-help or something, or like instructional, maybe that'll help.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big ear hole.
This clay is so much nicer now.
Yeah, that was so thin.
Well, a couple days of the air conditioner and the dehumidifier will do that, I guess.
Yeah, actually, all of these yarn bowls that are down here can come up too. I know you are working on limited flat space up there right now. But these are all ready to come up. Whatever I don't get needed, I think I'm going to put into quick arches so that when I come back this afternoon, I can do this a little bit quicker and better. And I don't technically need those extra large trees till tomorrow to go in the kiln.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I have no qualms about Wooden Indian. My question now is, and really, Grand Place can wait a little bit. It would be nice to be able to hit them up on the way back.
Yeah. I mean, either way, they're going in the kiln tomorrow night, so they're not going in tonight. So if I can get...
Yeah, we have
I was planning on getting all 3 of them done today, but even if I just get 2 of them done today, then I can do another one tomorrow morning.
We have a week to get it done.
Yeah, but I need the kiln running every night, because I need all of these yarn bowls to get through.
Okay, I should have bioed first, because you know how water makes you, like, well, clay pouring has a similar sound to water, and I can't make it go any quicker without ruining it. And I have 2 more to pour before I can run upstairs.
Or you can just not pour the other two and then pour them when you come back down.
That's true, but I'm male and determined, and um, but also, like at McDonald's, like I would count time in like how many runs of meat it took for the hour. So like I would know how many runs of meat it would be before the hour would come up or whatever. Uh, yeah, I know how long this is gonna take, so I'm trying not to think about that either. And on to the last one.
Yeah, Gary comes from how many years at McDonald's?
25.
So he is struggling a little bit with things not being done immediately and or things not being fully prepped and having everything ready to go before you start working on something.
I try my best to have everything as set up as I can. I feel like 5-10 minutes of prep in the beginning saves so much time when you actually go to do the thing.
Yep, I agree. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to half box a tree and waiting for the bases to come out of kilns or whatever. But
Well, one thing that we were definitely good at in McDonald Land also was improving the solution to stuff, because very rarely did, best laid plans actually work out.
mhm.
How long do I want to set these? 24 minutes, maybe? The extra large bases worry me. When they're too thin, they worry me. Alright, I'm signing off.
Have fun.
I'll see you in a minute. Yep. Bye.
Bye. Let's see. It's 11:48. I think I'm going to still have so many air bubbles. Kneading on a board makes this so much better. So I think what I'm going to do is arch up all of these. So this is my reclaim, as you can kind of see a little bit. You can see the white streaks kind of coming through. This is my reclaim of all of my cone 6 clay. I use stoneware, I use standard brand, I use Umbria, Buff with Grog, and Claire White that I am trying to use up because I'm not a fan. And so I have currently mixed it all up. All of my reclaim is currently mixed, except I have one bucket of Umbria left. So if I don't wedge this too hard, I get a really cool marbling effect, which I have in a couple of my smaller yarn bowls. Actually, I'm not even gonna, well, I don't know. I don't know, guys. There, I'm just gonna make smaller. Just Boop. One. Boop. Two. Um, this will just let a little bit more air get to them. And then when I come back from lunch, I will I'll knead all of these out, and then I will take off these that I've thrown this morning, take them off the bats, and put them onto wood, and then throw another 6. And then I will paint an extra large tree. Go make dinner for the fam. And then I'll come back down and do another 6 of these. And while I do that, I'll complain about not having enough flat space down here. Because I'm still staring at a camera that does not exist because it's currently staring at my white tree. But that's okay. I've gotten so used to making sure I look at the camera on a regular basis that now that it's not there, I'm a little discombobulated. But this has been sitting on this board for 4 days? I think 4 days. It was extremely goopy when I put it on here. I have not had the dehumidifier running because I've had my yarn bowls down here drying and I want them to slow dry so that the bottoms don't crack. And so I have to say that before I started doing clay, playing with pottery and whatnot, I was very squeamish around mold. And now it has become just normal, which a major factor in that is leaving the reclaim for days. If I had the dehumidifier on, it would have been on for, this would have been on the bat for 1 night. And it would have been reclaimed before the mold even developed. It's not like it's black mold. It's not harmful. I am allergic to it. That's probably why I'm sniffling. But yeah, it's not harmful. It's just there. A lot of potters will say that the mold is good for the clay. It makes it more plastic, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if it's true or not. I've always said that people say that to make them feel to make themselves feel better that they're playing with mold. But, you know. Oh, and when I went back to show you guys my things of Reclaim. I didn't go back to see if anybody's been posting. So if anybody's been chatting, I'm very sorry. I will jump back there in a minute. So I bought a computer from Digital Storm for down here to have 3 cameras and do my video editing and all of that stuff. Our upstairs computer, we've been having audio issues and just issues in general. It's fine. It's a laptop. It works. But I have been playing around with the idea of putting a new computer up there as well. And I'm big on buying things right the first time and not having to rebuy things often. So I bought this. This, in my theory, is a at minimum 10-year investment. Because I don't game, I don't do any of the things that need the crazy graphics. That this thing can handle. I mostly needed it to handle 4 different cameras at the same time. Technically it can handle 5. I haven't tried that yet. But technically it can handle 5. I had kind of wanted to get a group together to play online here, or well, to play here in person, but broadcast it online. I'm just getting some of the goop off my hands at this point. After lunch, I will do a quick knead on all of this, and then I'll go live again, and I'll throw another 6 cookies, which look like really poorly made plates. Because they are. I don't need them to be perfect. I just need them to catch glaze if something decides to run in the kiln. Which a lot of the glazes I want to run. I just don't want them to run off of the piece and onto my kiln shelf. So that is what we are trying to prevent. Okay, so this is that Reclaim schlop that I had. That we started with. Didn't get very, very far, but realistically, I did this so that I can get much further quicker later. So, okay. Well, I think... Is that all I'm doing at this moment? I kind of want to... So, this bucket right here, I want to dump onto a board, but I think I'm going to wait to dump that onto a board until this is needed and put into a plastic bag so that I have room. Because room is always at a premium. And also, next week is a really good time. I know I'm jumping all over the place, guys. I'm so sorry. Next week is a really good time for him to deliver because I will know what additional glazes I need, how many additional glazes I need for the yarn bowls. Hopefully not that much more. I am planning on going through most of my collection of glazes and using anything that has that's glossy, that has that shiny texture, because I cannot use a matte glaze on a yarn bowl because it will catch the yarn, or it could catch the yarn as you pull it through. I do have a couple of matte glazes that I want to use because I like them, but I do have a clear glaze that I'll be putting over top of them. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I didn't get to any trees. Sorry. But after lunch, I will get at least one tree painted. I'll have a little bit more time. So, have a wonderful lunch. Enjoy, guys. See you later.